Hello, I am a geneticist. Due to the fact all of my students didn't get the Tay-Sachs problem correct on their exam, to become the future's geneticist, I have to make this podcast. Well, Tay-Sachs disease is a rare inherited disorder that progressively destroys the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. The most common form of Tay-Sachs disease becomes apparent in infancy. Infants with the disorder, called Tay-Sachs, typically appear normal until the age of 3 to 6 months. When their development slows and muscles used for movement weaken, affected infants lose motor skills such as turning over, sitting, and crawling. They also develop an startle reaction to loud noises. As the disease progresses, children with Tay-Sachs disease experience seizures and vision and hearing loss. Also, intellectual problems and an eye abnormality called a cherry red spot, which can be identified with an eye examination. This is a characteristic disorder. Children with this severe infantile form of Tay-Sachs disease usually live only into early childhood. Other forms of Tay-Sachs disease are very rare. Signs and symptoms can appear in childhood, adolescence, or adulthood, and usually are milder than those seen with the infant form. Tay-Sachs symptoms also include muscle weakness, loss of muscle coordination, and other problems with movement and speech problems. Vary widely among the people with a late onset form of Tay-Sachs disease. One question you might have is, how common is Tay-Sachs disease? It's very rare among the general population. The genetic mutations that cause the disease are more common in people of Eastern and Central Europe with Jewish heritage than those with other backgrounds. And the mutations responsible for this disease are also more common in certain French-Canadian communities of Quebec. Another question, what genes are related to Tay-Sachs disease? Mutations in the hexa gene cause Tay-Sachs disease. The hexa gene provides instructions for making part of an enzyme called beta hexosaminidase A, which plays a critical role in the brain and spinal cord. The enzyme is located in lysosomes, which are structures in the cells that break down toxic substances, which you probably learned on the other lesson before. And they also act as recycling centers. Within the lysosomes, beta hexosaminidase A helps break down fatty substances called GM2 ganglioside. Now, how do people inherit Tay-Sachs disease? The condition is in an autosomal recessive pattern, which means both copies of the gene in each cell have mutations. The parent of the offspring with an autosomal recessive condition each carry one copy of the mutated gene, but they usually do not show signs of Tay-Sachs disease.